Hello everyone, it's Mike from Just Lifestyle, and I am completely realizing that I've forgotten to set a timer, so let me go do that now. Welcome Jan, how's it going? Are you aware that normal people stream before morning? This is definitely not morning, this is definitely early night. But has to be done, has to be done. Wait, that's definitely not a real time. Let's try that. That's about 64 minutes. I've also got to try and keep my voice down because my flatmate is sleeping. I'm also a little bit tipsy from drinking the whole evening. But I had a very good club night today. I won 5, 8. I won 9, lost 1. And I managed to beat Roger as well, which is always a positive. So I lost 1 game to Ife, but won the other 9 games. So we take that. And I think I was realizing today actually that I want to play as many of these tough events that I can in the UK that's coming up. So probably like Isle of Wight, you know, the English Championships, the British Championships, Northumbria again. Because I actually feel like I can knack it. The main resistance in terms of beating these players is not a matter of chess skill, but it's just a matter of mental resilience. And I think like having more practice against stronger players is going to be the difference between me fighting these games or me buckling. And I think like there's no better way to gain this mental resilience than by just playing strong players. But having said that, maybe I should actually schedule some training games against strong players. Maybe I'll look into this. Because maybe that's one other way to, build that mental resilience. Because like, in terms of openings, I feel like I know my lines very well. In terms of middle games, when I'm sharp, like, you know, I'm not missing stuff. And to be honest, the structures I'm getting, you don't really need, like, brilliance in order to win them. You just need to basically not collapse and not get too fancy. And that's really the way to do it. So I am hopeful of my chess progress, but yeah. Mental resilience, I think, is going to be the main difference. It's sad how I'm 28 and haven't acquired the falling asleep skill yet. I think the key to falling asleep is, let's say you're in your bedroom. You just make sure you turn off the lights, except for like one singular lamp, and you end up just being like, okay, it's time for bed. I feel like it's much easier to stay up when you just have all the lights on. You don't really get a sense of like it's bedtime. Who is your flatmate? Are they a chess player? No, they are a school friend. Although he has started playing some chess. Like sometimes I catch him playing. No, he's a much bigger League of Legends player, actually. So we're both degenerates. Scheduled training game with me. I'm strong. Yeah, Jan. Maybe gain 500 rating points, and then I'll consider. Right, so without further ado, let's get into some training. I think even though I'm kind of going on holiday over the winter break, I think I'll try to keep up these Woodpecker streams. I think it needs to be done, basically. As I said, I'm still a bit tipsy, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, so we've got queen, 2 rooks, 2 bishops, 1 knight. They've got queen, 2 rooks, 2 bishops, 1 knight. 1, 2, 3, 4 against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're a pawn down. Got rook on the line of their king and queen, pinning the bishop. Queen can potentially come into g6. Pressure on the h-file. You know what? A move like bishop h5 looks really snazzy. Because if they take it, then we enter like this, right? And if they don't take it, then this looks like a pretty strong threat. So what if they take like this? We can take king f8. And at the very least, we can take back and we've won back our pawn. Having said that, there is some pressure on e2. But yeah, this does look good. Does look good. If they take, is there anything better? Can we take with the bishop, for instance, and then take with the rook? Maybe that's a smoother way to cause damage. But maybe that's just simply better than all of this. So okay, let's understand this properly. This is pressured, but there's defense. This is loose. Okay, fine. So what checks do we have? We've got bishop e6, we've got rook g7. What captures do we have? We can take on h8. What threats do we have? This was one idea. Maybe f5. So okay, let's begin with our checks. So if bishop e6, queen e6, any follow-up here whatsoever? Really doesn't seem like there is. Maybe a rook g7, king g7, pawn f5, but they can always take with the queen, is fine. So what about rook g7, king g7? Not really seeing it. Unless it's like some bishop h5 here. We've sacked the whole exchange. Doesn't feel like it's enough. Right? I mean, rook g7, king g7, bishop h5, maybe just queen f7 is fine. So then what about our captures? Rook h8. We just take back with the rook. Now bishop h5 can be met with rook h5, so I don't believe that. So then in terms of our threats, yeah, bishop h5, maybe f5 is a threat. Not too sure. Let's revisit this bishop h5 again. If they take, this is definitely winning, right? So bishop here they have to take. I wish I saw something cleaner, but bishop takes, king f8, and then rook takes. Is that really enough? I mean, we do win back a pawn. In that position, they can take on e2. Not sure if it's enough. Bishop h5 here. Let's say we take the queen, king f8. Yeah, not so sure. Not so sure. So maybe it is this rook g7, bishop h5, but then just queen f7 was the issue. Oh, you know, I actually had good sleep yesterday because I actually slept at 1 AM. So I shouldn't spend too long on this stream. I should go to bed. Keep up this sleep schedule. I really thought bishop h5 should be it, but I just can't make it work. What about bishop takes, king f8, rook takes back? They take our knight, and then I just play a move like queen h3 or something. Am I threatening rook h8, bishop takes, queen takes with checkmate? Maybe that's actually too much. Bishop h5 takes, check, rook takes. Bishop e2 and maybe just queen h3. How do they defend a threat of rook h8? I actually don't see it. They have no counter checks. The king is completely boxed in. You know what? That might actually win. That might actually win. So hold on. Bishop h5 takes. What if I go king g8? Well, then I can take with check, then king f8. Surely I've got something here. I mean, at the very least I can save my knight. And then I've won a pawn. So I think all in all, bishop h5 has to be correct. I mean, I really don't see any other ideas. Oh, and I didn't look at my other threat properly. I was almost there. You know, it was a candidate, right? It was a candidate. But I just didn't get far enough to look at it, which is very annoying. Bishop h5, bishop d3, and black defends. Oh god. Didn't even consider bishop d3. Ah, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Did anyone find f5? Okay, so Peter missed bishop d3 as well. I think with sleep as well, like the more you like do stuff during the day, the more easy it is to sleep, right? If you're just completely shattered by the end of the day, you'll just sleep like a rock. So maybe you need to work harder, Jan. Less reels. Okay, wait till you get 50 points below my peak blitz, and then we can talk, Jan. I mean, my blitz rating is literally the same as Safsara's right now. So that says everything you need to know. 1 a.m. is such an early bedtime. Completely missed f5, yeah. No, f5 was on my radar, I just didn't calculate it because I'm lazy and it takes me 1,000 years to actually develop these good habits. f5. Let's calculate it now at least. So f5. Well, big threat. Taking or potentially taking one of the pawns and opening up the king. So f5, if they take this way, then what is the follow-up? Probably bishop h5, that was my instinct. But what does that actually achieve? Let's say we go king f8. I'm really not so sure. Oh wait. No, I thought maybe we can take on g7, but there's a queen still, right? So what is the follow-up here? Maybe it's rook g7 now. Bishop takes. Yeah, bishop takes is very strong. They can't keep in contact with their rook. And if they go king f7, we can first go queen g6, and then once they go to the back rank, then we take. So that wins. So f5, they can't take this way. If they take this way, probably we just take back. We hit the rook, we hit g6. I mean, this surely is winning. Rook c6, maybe? But then we can take the rook, they take back. If we take back, they take, and then we can give checkmate on g8. So f5, I don't think they can take it either. And if they're not taking, then I'm just completely crushing. It's like if I actually calculated all of my candidate moves, I'd actually get that. Okay, what about f5 and they take the knight? Maybe I can hit the queen. And actually, they can't even take with the bishop because it's pinned, right? So I think f6 is just winning. Yeah, f5 is so clearly winning. It's so clearly winning. It's just a matter of being disciplined to look. Bishop takes f5. And if g takes f6, it doesn't even give a line. The disrespect. G takes f5. Of course he doesn't give it as a move because he hasn't even... literally, Axel Smith has gathered some positions. He's just switched on an engine to have his variations. You see, rook takes h7 and e takes f5 are like the variations because they're top engine moves. Of course, g takes f5 isn't mentioned because he hasn't even looked. He hasn't even looked at the bloody board. Yeah, rook g7 top move. There we go. And then this is what I was saying, I think. Yeah. We're better than Stockfish. It was Too slow. Yeah, bishop h5, bishop d3. Jesus Christ. I mean, at least this line is winning. And bishop g6 was the correct move. Very nice. And then rook h7. Yeah, and if bishop e2, queen h3. Okay, so we did see this, and this was correct. But the problem is that, yeah, bishop h5 is just met by bishop d3. Absolute cold shower. That's crazy. Brutal stuff. Brutal stuff. So f5 is really what works. Yeah, so we had f5, rook h7, fg6. Also, yeah, rook takes and then bishop takes is just as strong. Yeah, this is what I had in mind. Just bring the other rook in. Okay, this is also strong. Yeah, threatening knight g6. Fair enough. Fair enough. I have a very hard time falling asleep literally every single time. I don't know. I feel like I find it hard to fall asleep when I've got lots of things on my mind. So I normally just listen to some music to distract me, and then I make sure I choose like a playlist that ends, because you don't want the music to go through the whole night, right? You just want it to go long enough for you to fall asleep, and then it stops. So it's like I always put a playlist on for like, I don't know, 45 minutes or something. So I'll fall asleep 20 minutes in, then it'll keep going, and then it'll stop. So that's how it works for me. You can't cite your peak rating. Current rating is the best estimate. That is bullshit. Because I'm playing the Chess Mood Grand Prix. Jan, you play Chess Mood Grand Prix every month and then see what happens to your rating. I mean, after this Chess Mood Grand Prix ends, then I'll grind my rating up to 2500, and then we'll talk. Didn't the bar drop on rook takes g7? It did for like a second, but I think it was just a Lee chess glitch. A chessable glitch. Because it was saying like -7, which is just not the case. A sleep timer on Spotify? That sounds like the same thing. Gotta listen to Cave Town, man. Cave Town is the perfect falling asleep music. My rating doesn't drop. CMGP. I don't even know what that stands for. Whatever. Right. More Karpov. To be honest, we really should be getting Karpov moves. I've got no excuse to miss Karpov moves. D5 somehow feels like the correct move. No idea why. Just feels right. To be fair, let's just briefly check this. This looks extremely strong. It looks so winning. So what if they take this way? Maybe that's a bit stronger. Oh, God knows. Just calculate, goddammit. Stop. Stop being so impulsive. Okay, so we've got queen, rook, rook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Against queen, rook, rook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anything else to note? Loose rook in our territory. How the hell did the rook get here? I have no idea. Some connection over here. King is on the line of our queen. Rook is on the line of their queen. Rook is pressuring. Maybe queen has ways in. Loose rook, don't forget. So, what checks do we have? We have a total of 0 checks. What captures do we have? We have rook takes e6, we've got rook takes b7. What threats do we have? We've got d5. We've got queen h7. Can I exploit this guy somehow? Not really. Fine, so no checks. Let's start with the captures. If we take on e6, and they just take with the pawn. To be fair, in that position, we could go queen h7, and we actually pick up the rook again. So probably we have to take with the king, And if I have to take with the king, surely we have some follow-up. Maybe d5 there. If they take with the pawn, then we go rook b6. I don't know. Is there anything easier than playing d5? Probably d5 is the only idea there. I can't quite calculate it, but it seems promising. Maybe we'll come back to it. What about rook b7? If queen takes, surely it's nothing. So okay, what about threats? If we play d5 and they take with this pawn, do we have a follow-up? I mean, queen b5 does look promising. I mean, if they don't want to lose the b pawn, they have to play king c7, which looks super dodgy. Something like this. c6 then, like it looks very strong. And what if they go king e7? We take. King f6. And we've got a passed c pawn there. It does look strong. Maybe d5. Maybe my intuition was correct all along. Are there any counter checks? No. Maybe it's just d5. The more I looked at it, the more it's just nice. d5, what if they like do something like this? Then I can take. Surely that wins. If king c6, must be a win. Or rook b6. King c7, queen d6, king c8. God, it looks promising. It looks promising. d5 and they take. You can also take this way with double check. And they can't take the pawn. Oh, that's actually winning. Yeah, any square they go to, that's just mate. Fine. So d5 actually just wins. Which is what we said the whole time, but I just didn't really... Is queen b5 not good enough? So in this position, okay, if king takes, what is the point? Queen b5, king c7. Actually, what is the point of playing c6 here? Just king takes. Aren't they fine? Oh, guys, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I actually don't get the idea of c6, king takes c6. How am I doing for time? Okay, I've done 20 minutes. This is the longest 20 minutes of my life. To be fair, this is good mental resilience because this kind of tiredness, like I am so tired. But if I can actually think in this position and solve, you know, this is the kind of endurance training we need. So c6, king takes c6, lock in. What's the idea? c6, king c6. I don't see the follow-up. come on. I'm so done. I'm so done. C6, king c6. What is the idea? Queen b5, king c7. King c7. Man. Like, surely it's got to be obvious. c6, king takes c6. What am I missing? There's checks on b5, c3. And surely it's got to be a check. Unless it's like some scammy move like queen d4 hitting the rook. And if they take, then we just have some follow-up. Don't believe it, though. Just don't believe it. c6, I don't get it. Queen b5, I much preferred. Let's see if they take. Yeah, I have no idea. I actually have no idea. Yeah, so much for mental resilience. Oh, I get it. So dumb that the position has to be on the board for me to see it, but the point is I've got this fork. It's like I know the rook is loose, but it's just so difficult to remember and like keep. Ah, they don't even show the whole line. That's so peachy. So annoying. CD5, C6. What a move. Let's see what would have happened if Queen B5. Yeah, so C6 is just lights out. Queen B5 is actually not lights out. Just equal, which is crazy. C6 looks fantastic. B6. Wow. Queen D5 is even possible. What if we just take? Is this worse for us? We have equal material, a monstrous pawn on the 6th rank. This pawn is ready to help, and we are worse. That is crazy. Okay, I guess they win one pawn back. King c3. King d6. Actually, yeah, it's somehow not easy for us to push the pawn. Their rook is more active in some ways, and they're also going to have this threat. So actually, yeah, could be lost. Yeah, so much better is just to play c6 and lights out. I just completely forgot about the rook. It's out on the other side of the board. Your short-term memory is atrocious. I mean, yeah, if I could have a brain transplant, then would be great. Chess Mood Grand Prix. Ah, okay, for CMGP, I see. My rating doesn't drop in Chess Mood Grand Prix. That's pretty wild. I'm going to try falling asleep again. Sleep is good, man. Sleep is good. Good night. Good night, Jan. D5, C5, C6. Oh, there's no way Peter finds that whole line. Crazy. Rook takes E6. Allows rook takes G2. Who said rook E6? Did someone say rook E6 and then deleted their comment or something? Or did I say rook E6? I don't remember saying it. Queen B5. Yeah, King C7's bad. Yeah, so actually that was bad, but King E7 is just fine. Yeah. Evening, Josh. How is it going? How is life? I am shockingly tired. I think I probably got it in me to do one more. Like I really should stop now, but as I said, mental endurance is something I want to work on, and I think I've got the energy for one more. And then I just sleep. Have a really good night. You're analysing rook e6 for quite a while in the starting position. I low-key want to go back to see it. I'm actually looking at the stream because, oh no, now it's changed position because there's a bit of lag. Rook e6. Rook e6, they couldn't take with the pawn, right? Because then there was like queen h7. But rook e6, you're saying allows rook takes g2. And after rook g2, then take on e6. And yeah, then the rook isn't hanging anymore. Fine. Oh, I was analysing rook e6, king e6, d5. I see. You know what? Let's actually check that. Let's actually check that real quick. Just to see if anything that I was saying was making sense. Oh, we're so far back. That's crazy. Okay, let me try this again. Okay, so this was c6. See, I've already forgotten. Oh yeah, it was check and then pick up the rook. See, it's like short-term memory is just not there. But yeah, let's very quickly look at this rook takes e6 because I found it promising, but I couldn't quite understand it. So king e6 is indeed good. Apparently rook takes g2 isn't as clear. Rook 1 g2. And the rook just blocks, right. Yeah, we can block, so that avoids the capture. But if they take with the king, which apparently is best, then d5 was what I was trying to calculate. cd5, rook b6, king e7 does look promising, but it's probably just not enough. We are down a rook after all. Been grinding Valorant more than chess? That's a crazy statement, Josh. What about Valorant appeals to you to make it worth grinding? I feel like chess has so many other factors that make it way more desirable to grind than a video game. Like, I can find video games fun, but I just don't get the same drive to grind. I guess for me, like real world implications are more desirable in some way. It's tough to say. But Duck Gang says, why am I here? I have exams and I'm way too addicted to chess. Well, it depends how good you are at chess. Like, there's potential to live a chess lifestyle. I mean, it's what I'm doing. Like, if you can actually turn your addiction into a positive, then who's to say it's really an addiction? I wonder if that's possible with everything. Let's say you're addicted to alcohol. If you are able to market that in a way, the problem with something like alcohol is that it's so frowned upon, right? I imagine if you could sell a course of I don't know, drinking alcohol increases confidence, and then you can do XYZ. I'm sure there's a way you could spin it into a positive. I guess that's the other good thing about any chess addiction is that chess itself intrinsically. I think I was having a chat with Peter about this last week, but chess intrinsically doesn't actually cause bodily harm, whereas something like alcohol does. So there's a difference, even though there is addictive aspects of the game. But I think that just means it's a good game, you know. Josh says it's not really grind, I guess. I'm just trying to improve my aim and movement. I see. Fair enough. Yeah, it's hard for me to get motivated about video games nowadays. Going for Grandmaster. And I'm here 3.5 hours before my Canada government exam. Sounds like you've got some interesting priorities, Duck Gang. Probably more important than, addictions and focus. It's just a matter of sorting out priorities. I mean, it sounds like you've got the skills to be good at multiple things. And I don't think the addiction's the issue. The issue is just prioritizing what's actually important. And at the end of the day, nothing's important. But it's just what's important to you, right? I also think you need to be able to lock in. And if you want to go for Grandmaster and you can't lock in 3.5 hours before your exam, then forget about Grandmaster. Because you need to be able to lock in if you want to get Grandmaster. So I would say, like, that's another skill to work on. Then again, you just said, oh yeah, this puzzle. So clearly you must have some positive traits as well. So who am I to say you can or can't get GM? But no, I think GM, you really need to have the full package unless, you really are absolutely brilliant at one aspect of the game. So I think, this locking in ability is good, but okay. Memory, I'm sure, is very important too. And obviously I have no idea what this position is. So let me have a think. So we've got queen, 2 rooks, 2 knights, 2 bishops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Queen, 2 rooks, 2 knights, 2 bishops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, equal material. Their king seems fairly safe. My king feels fairly exposed. But at the same time, it seems alright. They've got a strong knight on d5 that I want to eliminate, but doesn't seem like to be a good way to do that. My bishop is very strong. They've got a loose rook on b1. We've got x-ray pressure between the rooks on the b file. Somehow this idea caught my eye with a5. We're not too sure. X-ray pressure between the queens. Any other X-rays? Maybe some pressure on h3, long term c4. Tension on the b pawn. Fine. Their bishop's also terrible, their light squared bishop. Fine, so do we have any checks? No. Do we have any captures? Yes. We can go bishop d5, knight d5. We've got knight b4, rook b4. And threats. Honestly, no idea. Maybe knight e5 could be somehow cool, except they've got another knight that can come into f4, which is a bit annoying. I guess a5, my original idea, was a threat. Okay, so let's look at our checks. We have no checks. What do I have? Our captures, bishop takes knight. If pawn takes... Do we have anything special? Wait. Bishop takes knight, pawn takes. We just go knight takes b4. No, then they go rook takes b4. And that's annoying. Yeah, I don't think so. So what about knight takes, pawn takes? Do we have something there? Also don't think so. If we go knight takes b4 immediately, then I feel like they just take with the rook. I don't see how we get back our material. A5. What does it even do? Yeah, I've got no idea. No idea. The rook being loose on b1 was the one idea I had, but I said I'll do one more, but this might take me to the end of the stream. Like, I'm so stuck. It's like, if the knight had to take, then I see some stuff, but if rook takes, I just don't have a clue what. Yeah. Nah, I'm very, very stumped. Unless knight a5, maybe that's another way to exploit the pawn. Because then I've got this stuff going on. Maybe knight a5 is actually a good candidate. Knight a5. What if they like connect the rooks this way? They're just not in time. Knight a5. This is just really strong. Can't really go queen c2 either. Maybe they can actually. That defends the rook and defends the c pawn. But then I can take on c4 anyway. And even if they take with check, I can take back and I defend everything. So it's a knight a5. If they take the knight, queen takes, and there's no biggie, no big deal. We'll take the c pawn. Actually, so tired. Okay, knight a5. I'm really sure it's winning. Okay, so knight d4 is played. Now I don't really get why this wouldn't just be fine. Because if they take, I mean, who cares? We just take that queen. I feel like this is even a blunder. Like, what is this move? Knight d4 is definitely not the top engine move. There's no way. Knight d4 is trash. Yeah, knight d4 just loses so much. This is not completely trash. Looks like everything is quite tough. But queen c4... Sorry, queen c2 defended the rook, pressured my knight. But then I saw I had knight c4. Yeah, exactly. Nice. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Did everyone manage this pretty well? So Josh says, I think also maths and chess take up some part of my brain, so I'm saving it. I'm too brain dead to understand what you mean by saving it. Also, Riot have really compelling esports, so I've been getting into it, I see. Yeah. I know, it's really hard for me to consider grinding something else when I've got so much more I want to achieve in chess. Chess is my interest, social studies is trash, I see. I have locked in yesterday somewhat. Okay, you got 3 hours to go. Best of luck. Peter says, I was pretty stumped, didn't realize knight a5 was so strong. Yeah. And Susie Dent says knight a5. Susie Dent, isn't that that's a familiar name. Susie Dent. Why do I know Susie Dent? Who is Susie Dent? Okay, I'm curious. Susie Dent. Ah, that lady. No wonder the name rings a bell. I see. Fine. She's like, isn't she like the... What's the name called? Countdown lady with the dictionary? How do I manage catchable streams at this hour, Faz? I don't know. I'm too tired. Ife, what are you doing awake? 1 a.m. Exactly. Yep, Susie Dent from Countdown. Right. That'd be so funny if it actually was Susie Dent. How insane would that be? But I can't imagine Susie Dent putting a username as Susie Dent with 4 T's. That would be some next level spy work. No one would suspect it. Guys, I am too tired. I realize I've only done 40 minutes today, but we're just getting back into things. I had a lot of work to catch up on today. And in fairness to myself, I actually had a pretty productive day, so I'm quite happy, to be honest. But yeah, I think we will call it night. I will brush teeth, head straight to bed, completely crash, and yeah, I will see you guys on Wednesday. And yeah, maybe last thing as well, if you are keen for some more Michael rambles, definitely check out the ECF Chess podcast. I know the last couple episodes didn't do so well in terms of views, so puts my job on the line a bit. So if any of you fancy checking it out, giving it a like, would appreciate that a lot. So yeah, apologies Faz that I'm ending the stream so soon after you joined. Peter says the writing of her username is the unbelievable thing, not her watching Chess Lifestyle at 1 a.m. That is a very fair point. I didn't even consider that. That shows how detached I am from social norms. I promised to join the stream, so here I am. Fair play, Yifei, fair play. Good to see you here. And I guess, goodbye. Well, it was fun to catch the end of the stream. Yes, absolutely. Okay, good workout, guys, and see you on Wednesday.